What is up? So happy to have you guys. It is absolutely amazing to be back for another awesome week. Today we are talking all things Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, the post-credit scene, everything like that. So make sure you stay tuned. We've got a long list of stuff to go over. And of course, as always, please do make sure that if you have not seen it, to turn back now because this is your spoiler warning. So real quick, it might not be a superhero landing, but it is a spoiler warning. Also, go check out Rhino's Comics because they just extended their hours for the winter season for all the holidays that are coming up. So make sure that you go check them out. They are now open till 9 on, I want to say it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Just check them. Just went there to pick up my pulls. Earlier today, it was actually like 8 o'clock at night. Never picked up books that late from them, and it was just absolutely amazing to go there, talk to the owner, and just kind of hang out for a good 10 minutes with myself and the family. And we loved every minute of it. So please, please, please go check them out. If you are watching this on the replay, as always, of course, go back to the beginning. You're almost there. It's like the 5.5 minute mark when this actually starts. And let's get right into Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So, first things first. This is not the movie that Ryan Coogler wanted us to see. And Ryan Coogler almost canceled Black Panther 2. He almost quit directing. He was ready to step away when Chadwick Boseman passed. And I think that just speaks to the influence and love that people in this community had for Chadwick and that people had all around for this character that he developed, because Chadwick truly was the embodiment of T'Challa, the embodiment of Black Panther, the best possible character that we could see. And I'm not getting too spoilery yet, so if you're still watching and you haven't seen the movie, this isn't true spoilers yet. That will come in probably about 3 or 4 minutes, so stay tuned. But honestly, there's just a ton of stuff to break down today. Okay. Sorry. Alex will let me know he just got home, so he'll be on in a couple minutes. This was an emotional roller coaster, and in large part simply because there was a lot going on here. And like I just said, this is not the movie Ryan Coogler, Coogler, I want to say is how you pronounce his last name. This is not the movie he ever wanted us to see. It was devastating to us as fans, to the community, and to the African American community, because he truly was a powerful symbol for that community. I know because I work in those areas, and I saw the impact, and I saw the impact of Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, on students and coworkers, and just, I mean, everyone was impacted by this without a shadow of a doubt, like for real. To say that his passing did not impact people outside of his acting would be detrimental to what he built as a character over Civil War. And so Civil War, Black Panther 2, Infinity War. He was briefly back in Endgame, and then obviously And that was it. 5 movies that he was in for, and then obviously the What If show. So, actually really wasn't in Black Panther 2, but I don't know. Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, the What If series, his own solo movie, so 5 properties. Like for real, there was some massive stuff that he built in a very short amount of time. And honestly, amount of time. And sorry, I wanted to make sure that you guys were seeing this. um, but yeah, it's crazy. So that that all got factored into this review. That all got moved around and changed, and that's all going to get talked about today. And I know that this isn't how we normally do these videos. I know this is not how I normally start these videos off. Usually it's a lot more like happy-go-lucky. So if this is the comics lounge that you're not really a fan of, don't worry, we will get to there. Because there's a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. But I feel like we had to kind of step back because there was a lot of stuff that was very heavy in this movie. And it was heavy in the sense that it was a tribute movie. And to diminish that is to diminish the characters that we met, the otherworldly beings that were a part of this movie that people just didn't all see as this movie that people just didn't. Sorry, I got a new laptop. I'm trying to make sure that the stream is good. I always have the stream playing, so that way I can do the moderation side of it as well as be here with you guys. But new laptop, I'm trying to figure out all the buttons and stuff. It's a new work laptop. So if got no stickers on it. If you have a channel and you want to send stickers, please do so. I'd love to add them. My students in comic book club and students all over the place are always like, "Oh, what's your channel name? Who do you follow? Who do you talk to? Who do you know in the industry?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I can't divulge everyone I know in the industry, but here's my channel sponsors. Here's like the people I follow. Here's who I talk to all the time." So they find it very interesting. A lot of them actually have been following Spider's Lair for quite some time now, because they like his content and stuff. But yeah, so I do apologize. Not trying to do anything crazy, but yeah. So with that being said, if you are in the comments, I want to hear your thoughts because it is absolutely amazing to be able to have these conversations and talk. And as I said, we're waiting for Alex and Spider's Lair to come in and join us. But it's also really cool. Owner Spider's Lair didn't understand. Because I said I'm waiting for my computer to do its thing, and it took a little while to get this started. That's why we started about 10 minutes late. Where was I? This is why I can't do it by myself. There's Alex. Here we are. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
I've been losing my train of thought because I'm trying to like think of, oh, where can I go next? And I didn't want to go too far into it without getting your opinion. I know Spider's Lair's going to be joining us in a few minutes and stuff.
My opinion is never deep fry your turkey because it can cause fires. So it's a bad idea for everyone to deep fry their turkeys during this Thanksgiving. Don't do it.
Don't do it. I totally agree. How do you cook your turkey for Thanksgiving?
In the oven. I
Oven?
baste it, yeah.
Okay.
And I put seasoning, and then I wrap it in bacon.
Wrap it in bacon?
Not wrap it in bacon, but I put some bacon in there. I put a little seasoning underneath the skin so it gets moist.
That sounds like something I might need to look into.
You definitely should. It's amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna try smoking the turkey this year.
Oh.
So that's something brand new. I've never done it before. I need to like look up all the recipes, all the rules, all the times, and all that, so that way I can like make sure I'm doing due diligence and I don't ruin the turkey.
Yeah, we have always wanted to do that.
Yeah, I've smoked a lot of stuff before. One of the things that I love to do is ribs. I've also
Yes.
done some chicken. Chicken's a little weird. You have to brine it, and it's a lot more. You got to really know how to do it properly.
Yeah,
But
because chicken can dry out really fast.
yeah,
Brining it is good because it helps keeping the juices and stuff. That's how I do
exactly.
it. That's how I do it with my fried chicken now. If I want to make some fried chicken or even boiled chicken, I brine it overnight, and it comes out juicy.
Definitely.
Yeah, but smoking, yeah, I've seen a lot of cool videos on people smoking their turkeys, and it always comes out. It always looks amazing.
Yeah,
You should take a picture of it.
will do. So speaking of things that were amazing, in my opinion, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. What were your thoughts on it?
I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I thought it was really good. I'm not gonna lie. I know there's been mixed reviews about it and stuff. I don't care about that.
Agreed.
Personally, I thought it was amazing. I was absolutely entertained from the second it started to the second it ended. And I don't care what anyone says. I thought it was a 10 out of 10 movie. I believed all the hype for it. It lived up to the hype. It exceeded it in some of the hype too. I don't know. I thought it was beautifully done, and the cinematography and the special effects were really beautiful,
Yeah.
especially when it came to Namor's uh, place. And they did what I really appreciate is they treated the the Mesoamerican aspect
Yes.
of Namor's culture correctly and respectfully. Because I've studied that culture. I've studied Mesoamerica, and my mother used to teach it, and she studied it for a time, and so we grew up with that, and it was beautifully done, and I loved it. I loved how they did it accurately, like the design, the headpieces and stuff. It was really beautifully done.
So going off the headpiece, and I did mention at the beginning of this video that I went to go to my local comic shop before I got home tonight. I asked the comic shop owner. I was like, "So did you see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever?" Because I know a lot of like older Marvel fans are like, I didn't really want to go see it." And like you said, there was a lot of mixed reviews. And he goes, "Yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought it was a solid like 7 out of 10." So right there was kind of like, okay, why do you say 7 out of 10? Like I'm at a 9 or 9.5, like not a 10 out of 10. I don't know if I can go that far
Nine
because
point
there were
eight.
things I didn't like. Yeah, 9.8, near mint. um, there were things I didn't like, things that I felt dragged on, but dragged on for good reasons. So that's why I'm still at like that 9.5, 9.8.
Yeah.
But he was like, the one thing that got me was the actor who played Namor. I'm not a huge fan of him, but the character was phenomenal. So he's like, I could overlook that, but don't insult my intelligence and tell me that you can wear a headdress underwater. I was like, holy shit, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I thought the actor I thought was phenomenal. I honestly thought he stole the show in every scene he was in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Another thing, like I noticed this too, and my sister's fiance noticed this. Like at the end of the movie, we were like, "Oh yeah, do you see that scene when he was in underwater, the headdress?" He didn't have a
Yeah.
problem with the headdress, but this is the one issue I had. The way he was moving looked like it was animatronic in like a Disney wide. His movement seemed weird.
Yeah.
Like the head movement, like up, like move with the body, like too um simultaneously with itself. Like it looked weird, like an animatronic. Yeah, that was the only problem I had. I don't know how they could have fixed it. That's just suggesting maybe it was a headdress. Maybe they're trying to get that going, try to make sure it moved like as if it was underwater. Yeah, yeah, that was the only thing.
Yeah, one of the things that I struggle with in a lot of movies, not just this one, is underwater scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's so no one really knows what that would look like because we don't live underwater and no one moves at that speed underwater. It's not possible for a human to do that. So to try to predict that and think about what it would truly look like and how that would translate is very interesting. I think
Yeah.
one of the biggest things that I struggled with was that.
Greetings, everyone.
What's
Oh,
up, buddy?
nice. What's up?
Right. Hey, listen,
One
I
of
gotta be fashionably late.
Ew.
Dude, did I
Lame
miss
joke.
anything, man?
now we're just kind of talking about like the underwater scenes for Namor. So
Yes,
what I was
indeed.
saying was
Dad
like
bought Namor. I like them.
my comic shop owner was like, "Don't insult my intelligence and have someone wearing a headdress underwater." And like Alex just said that basically they looked kind of Disney animatronic style underwater, and like I'm just the biggest underwater scene that we've seen recently similar to this is Aquaman. And
Yeah.
Aquaman kind of struggled to do underwater scenes both in the Snyderverse or the Snyder cut, the original cut of Justice League, and in the movie Aquaman. And then you have this movie that comes significantly after those three movies. And I feel like it's done a lot better, but still not perfect. The physics are still not fully understood to do very well with that. And then my biggest thing that I'm really going to be curious to see is how well Avatar is now able to do that underwater stuff with
Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff that James Cameron's created, and if that will change the industry's underwater scenes for a good decade or so.
That's deep, literally.
Deep blue
Okay,
sea.
listen. First of all, Namor, when it comes to the power level, that was spot on. You gotta
Yeah.
understand, this man's swimming under hundreds of metrics of tons of water. Like Hulk should train under there. If he did for like about a month, forget about it. He would be able to slap the planet off its orbit if he already doesn't have the ability to do so. But this is
Yeah.
what you're dealing
Yeah.
with. You're dealing with a flying Hulk, pretty much. He's an OP for sure. You know, I just laugh because I'm not dissing no dad bods. All you dad bods out there, don't worry. We all chilling together. I'm just saying, you know, all those metric tons should have had that man ripped, which is why I like how the Submariner looked in the original comics, because that would make sense
Yeah.
because your body's constantly working out. But it's all good. It's all good. But the way that they kept the power level was correct. But let me ask you, Chris, did you go this weekend on opening weekend?
Yeah. I
Oh,
went
Chris, why'd you
Saturday
do that?
afternoon.
So you didn't support the black community by not showing up? Did you see that video about the girl that said don't show up? See, Alexander, he was okay. He's Hispanic. He can go. Look, I didn't go. I didn't go. I did
I got a
my
pass.
civic. Yeah, exactly. You get a pass. I did my civic duty. If I was looking for Alexander, I was gonna give him my ticket and then hold the door for him. No, but I'm just saying, like, Wakanda forever. What's my thought on it? It's pretty much comes to this. I think the movie is all right. I just honestly feel like we shouldn't have killed Black Panther. And then I started thinking about it, and I started scratching my head. I said, "Wait a minute, Iron Man, Ironheart, Captain America, Mrs. Carter, whatever the hell they call her. Every Avenger's been replaced by a female, which I'm cool with that. I don't care about all that. But what's going on? What's going on? The Avengers are gone. There's no more Avengers, and we have Secret Wars coming up. Half
Yep.
of the goddamn Secret Wars have the Avengers. But we are doing a Kang kind of story. I don't know if you guys know about the exact mechanics behind this Secret Wars. I don't see a Beyonder here. I see Kang the Conqueror though, and
I
it
think they're
seems to
gonna
be pretty
do.
interesting.
I don't think they're gonna do the original Secret Wars. I think they might do it the ones that came later on, which I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Not
about.
kind
Yeah,
of. I
because
am disappointed in that.
yeah, I would have loved to see an OG. Yeah, exactly. What the? Yeah, indeed,
I need
exactly.
my books to increase in value. I need to get my money back.
Oh man.
They'll
Listen, but
increase in value no matter what.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
like it. I get that they're trying to make new generational stuff, but
Yeah.
it's almost like you have a freaking. I've given you the recipe to make gold, and instead you decide consciously, I'll just make lead instead. I'm not saying that Wakanda Forever was a bad movie. What I'm saying is like, let's be all honest with each other for 1 minute. If Black Panther comes back out and it's Shuri as Black Panther, are you gonna go see that movie? From what you guys saw and how you liked the movie, would you go see it again? Yes or no? And if so, why either way?
So would I go see Black Panther Wakanda Forever again?
No, would you go see if Shuri came out with her own Black Panther? Because technically, pretty much right now, she is Black Panther.
So personally, I would.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of Shuri's story arc in this, and being the villain of her own story in a way.
Right.
Like her growth from this story, from the last story that she was featured in, which was obviously Black Panther, the first movie, to this one, her growth was spot on. I mean, so spoiler alert for everything now. She lost everything, mom, dad, and brother, within the span of 5 years. And she was snapped away, so she had to deal with losing 5 years worth of time. So you put all that into perspective, it's not a shock that she wants to watch the world burn if she thinks and sits with that for too long. And Namor knew to use that. And now he knows to use the alliance that they created. And now M'Baku is the king of Wakanda. And Shuri's going to chill out in Haiti with Nakia and her nephew for however long it takes. And I feel like that's kind of keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like Shuri still does not trust Namor. She is
Nor
not
should she.
on his side. And she's like, you know what? I'll spare you, but we're not friends. We're not fans of each other. Fuck that.
You see what I say? I'll put it to you like this. I don't mind that she's taking the mantle of the Panther right now, because in the comics she does.
Yeah.
Temporarily, of course, but then Black Panther recovers and retakes the mantle. And it's not their fault. It's a good story. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. At the beginning, I mean, I'm gonna give it to my girl Angela Bassett. I was hitting those biceps today thinking about that girl. I was like, God damn, she's 64. God bless you, woman. She looked amazing in that movie. You would put the Black Panther costume on her. I would have believed that any day over Shuri. But it's all good because
You would have been all on that.
Yo, hell yeah, for sure. Anyway, Sherry's
No,
like the kind of chick that,
yeah.
she's like more of a scientist person. And, I was just upset with the fact that she couldn't make the formula in time to save T'Challa from an unknown virus of foreign origin. I mean, like, but that's what the hell the equivalent to their super serum is. I believe the way the herb is made, it's infused with the vibranium somehow. It fuses with this herb, and that herb, once you take that, it pretty much makes you like a super soldier. But
Basically.
it also has the ability to make your skin hard in battle. This is why when you see that when you see Black Panther get struck, his claws come out too. That's almost like a Wolverine type of thing. He can make his claws come out and make his skin as hard as vibranium. I don't know. So if you guys know this, let me know. Is the vibranium harder than the adamantium? I'm trying to think of any time when I saw Wolverine actually fighting Captain America in the comics. And if I remember, he did scratch Captain America's shield, but just scratched it. and even Cap was like, "Whoa." But I
But
think
But wasn't
vibranium is
Captain
harder.
America's shield made of vibranium too?
in the movies, in the
Yeah,
comics,
in the
it's
comics.
a vibranium adamantium hybrid.
Okay, yeah. So that's why it was able to do that. So my question is, if it was all made of vibranium, Wolverine would be able to. I mean, vibranium is the hardest metal, and then it's
Yeah,
adamantium.
I
Okay.
believe so. I think that's what the lore has kind of been. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that it's ever been
I don't think it's ever been head to
tested.
head. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, you know
because
what?
there's
This
I,
always
is
a
something I'm
debate
gonna
about it.
research because I thought about it, and I do remember a couple of comics. I just have to go through all my collections, like so many. But I do remember times where I did see Wolverine fighting, and Captain America is like they're not fighting, but he's intervening. And there was one point where he did scratch his shield, and even Cap was looking at it like he was surprised. And but Wolverine's claws were okay, but Wolverine looked like he could have hurt himself. Like like he doesn't. He feels pain that he can recover, but he still feels pain nevertheless. Every time those claws come out, he feels a tremendous amount of pain. He can't he can't do anything about his nervous system feeling pain. And what's worse is when he fully pulls his claws out, those nerves are healing around those claws that are out now. So when he retracts them back in, the nerves just get ripped all over again. But I wanted to know if that was the case. Like if this guy was actually could actually his claws would be harder than the vibranium. I believe I don't think so. I think vibranium is the hardest thing. So anyway, getting back, I'm so sorry I jumped off topic. I was just thinking about her because Sherry. It's like this. She could have I would have. I me personally, I would have recasted. I don't know how this went down with them, and I get that they're trying to respect the death of a character, but it would be like killing the Amazing Spider-Man when he had like. I mean, what was their first box office? I think it was over $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken.
for the first
For
Wakanda,
yeah,
it was pretty close, if not over.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know what the conversation was, if there even was one. But me personally, if I know that, I was dying, God forbid, God rest this guy's soul, Chadwick Boseman left us too early. It's sad. I mean, I was hearing that he was actually working while he was diagnosed. So, and I
Yeah,
think Stan Lee was the only one who knew at the time. So it was pretty much like this is why like they started to see like a real closeness with them. And everybody just thought that, oh, it's just, they
Yeah,
liked each other. That was the case, but also it was because he shared this with him, but he told him he wasn't gonna stop until the film was done. And he still did his and he still not only did all his chemo he was supposed to do that day, he also volunteered for children as well. He would
yeah,
go into those hospital wards after he was done and he would spend time with those kids and then go back to film. I mean, incredible. I mean, I have mixed feelings about it. I could get you don't want to disrespect that, but at the same time, I would feel like the best way to honor somebody like that is to continue on with the arc in memory of the original. And you could have said that. I mean, I just hope with the Shuri situation that if a Black Panther does come back on, I mean, let's give it to Warmonger. I love to see that guy as Black Panther. Honestly, let's
yeah.
give it to Warmonger. I mean, you're not following the law, so here you go. Here's some good advice to you guys at Disney and whoever the hell's doing this Marvel. Give it to Warmonger. Michael B. Johnson, he would play an excellent Black.
Jordan.
Killmonger.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
he would be a great Black Panther. I mean, why not? I mean, what are you gonna do? Leave it on Sherry? She should be where she's meant to be.
yeah.
She's a genius, you know.
I almost wonder if they're taking it. They made her Black Panther for now,
Yeah, I'm hoping
and
that's the case.
I think they're going to transition to a different Black Panther when it's time, because she is that scientific genius, just genius level intellect, even for a Wakandan. Like we saw when they went to MIT, and Okoye was like, "Yeah, I mean, this looks like a typical Wakandan village school." Like you're talking about MIT, one of the greatest technological institutes and most well known in all of America, right? Like we're on board with saying that, right?
Yeah,
And you're calling that a village school compared to Wakanda? So that just goes to show you like how smart Shuri truly is. Like most Wakandans are here with their intellect. She's up here. Like she is so much more in the know and like tests out vibranium, and then in the
Do
movie
you
she
think?
says she learns all of that from T'Challa. Like T'Challa
Mhm.
pushed her to be even smarter, meaning he was on that intellect level too.
What do
Yeah.
you think? Do you think Tony Stark would be at that level too? I was thinking about it,
Oh
like,
hell yeah, without a
because I
doubt.
know Tony
I'd say
Stark
so.
was extremely smart, but do you think if he ever went to Wakanda, he would have like understood everything, would have been on par with Shuri, T'Challa, and everyone
I
else?
mean, like, if you go by what the comics actually should say, it's almost like as if they're ahead of our technology by about 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know Tony Stark's extension of his knowledge. Even if he goes a couple of 100 years, he's going to get to a point where he's not going to be able to even understand that. I believe that these people are beyond his comprehension of what they're doing, because just by just mere generational gap of knowledge that was available to them, they're 1,000 years ahead of us.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's like trying to teach a 3-year-old calculus. I mean, I learned it at 5. It was hard. No, I wish.
Dude, if you learned it at 5, you wouldn't be on this show.
Exactly.
Did
That's
you
why I
guys
said
ever
I wish.
see? Did you ever see Futurama where they go through the different
Yeah,
universes?
yeah.
Yeah,
I love Futurama.
I
And
love
that
that
one
show.
where they're like, "Oh yeah, there was no Dark Ages. Religion doesn't exist here. Um, personal growth was never held back. People weren't killed for being witches. Like none of that ever happened." So the year 2000 is basically the year 4000, comparatively speaking, because of like no technological advancement was ever held back.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's kind of how Wakanda is. I mean, there's no reason for them to hold themselves back. And I feel like Shuri has said it perfectly. She doesn't really believe in all of the traditions. She doesn't like them. She doesn't believe in them. And it showed in this movie when she went to the ancestral plane and saw her cousin instead of her mother, father, or brother. And I mean, finally, she saw her mother as she was about to kill Namor, which, again, beautiful scene. Like, that was phenomenal. And I don't know. It's just, there's something about the Wakandans that they can't, other people can't comprehend because they are that advanced because they haven't been held back. They've kind of just been pushing forward and had something to help them push forward through all of that.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna tell you what they had helping them pushing forward. Strong, independent females. Because where were the men?
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Like a lot of African cultures, a lot of Native American cultures, they were very matriarchal. So
Yeah,
this is
that is
spot
true.
on.
Yeah, that's true.
You see a
And
lot of matriarchies in Africa, honestly, and it's
so, I
still
mean,
they're still around today.
yeah, I think it would be wrong. I feel like it would be cultural appropriation if they truly took like Umbaku and made him this massive head figure because he really isn't. They're even
Right.
in like T'Challa and T'Chaka, they were king, but they weren't like the end all be all. Most of the people on the council were females because a lot of those tribes are matriarchal tribes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how they were grown. That's how they grew up. So they stayed that way.
Interesting indeed. I like
And
that.
they respect everyone, each
Exactly.
other. So there was no like, oh, women are inferior, or anything, or they don't even see men as inferior either. So
Exactly.
it's equality.
Well, there you go. That's what I want. Nothing but equality. As long as it's equal, that's all I care
No,
about.
Spice Layer, you're not equal
But
to us.
I
As you
want to
can,
get it.
as
But
you can see, you're on the bottom and we're on top. Just kidding.
But if you look at the bottom real good, look what I control. I control both of you guys. Look, look. Oh, so I'm gonna get to you next, and then you.
Alex
Yeah.
isn't looking down, but he sees no one above him.
Yeah, I'm the one above all. Bow
There you
down,
go.
bitches. No, I'm just
Oh my god, it's funny.
kidding.
I was talking about that the other day. The one above all. You know who the one above all is, do you? There's no way you
Joe
don't know.
Mama. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, wait. I really don't know who it is. I thought it was always John Burns, but it could be
I thought it was Jack Kirby.
Kirby. Yeah, I think it is Kirby. He is the one above all. What a great, like, if you start getting into the gods it's too much, it's like one of those I fell into like I know all the lore, so I fell into a self-perpetuated um like rabbit hole of my own making.
Why can't it be a bunny hole? I mean,
Uh, yeah,
wait, no,
okay.
that sounds weird. That
It
sounds
was
weird.
yeah, it was a big rabbit hole that I put myself down, and I started thinking about all the higher levels of how everything in the universe works because in the Marvel comic universe because
Oh, I thought you meant our universe. Like, damn, dude, that's gonna
no,
take
the Marvel
forever.
Cinematic Universe. Oh, this universe too, but that's another day. I'm sitting there
I
waiting
gotta
for the
send you a
Earth to come
video
up
that
on
will
it.
give you an existential crisis.
Oh yes, I need one
Is
of
it you
those.
dancing? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, it's like 30 minutes long of what's gonna
Oh
happen when
shit!
the universe, like how will the universe end, and
It'll
it
collapse in
just
on
like
itself.
it breaks it down like year by
There's
year,
nothing
year,
left.
and it's like
Nothing. Everything's void
what
of
the
light.
hell?
Light, nothing exists.
Wait,
It's like what
wait. Do
null
you?
is the void. Everything becomes the void.
Yeah. Wait. Do you
And Null
remember
is born
Futurama?
again.
Yeah. Do you know? Remember the episode of Futurama when they go forward in time?
Yes.
Where I was like, oh no, the vast emptiness, like a beer
Yep.
can. But no, but it shows that and that
Or
was
where
the
they
last
reach the end of the
star.
universe.
Yeah, and then it just restarts.
Yep.
Would that be trippy if that's actually true? That maybe I don't know. I mentioned this to my brother and sister when we first watched. Like maybe that's the reason why we have deja vu's because we have lived this life before, and then yeah, I was like, oh shit,
Or how about the multiverse theory?
nah,
Maybe
fuck
in
that.
another no, it definitely exists, and I'm gonna explain to you why it does.
It's
Because you
just the
gotta
same. It's just, my sister was saying if that's true, it's just the same. She's the same in every universe, but like different clothing.
well, no one knows how you would be in any and all universes, but I also believe that
I'll be
if
rich.
this is, yeah, I hope so. If you're rich, bring me some money right through the portal, okay? We'll just find it together.
Oh hell no! I need that money first.
Of course, take care of yourself. Then come over to the spice. Like, I got you. Don't worry
No,
about it.
it goes to
There you go.
Chris next.
Yeah, that's true. You
Then
ready,
it
ready
goes
to
to
book me
like,
some?
then it goes to like 50 other people. Then maybe you. I'm just
Then maybe me. Okay, it's all good, man. Don't worry. I'm
kidding.
gonna make sure I find it.
Oh, you'll find it. Make sure
I'm gonna use my guy to find it. That's it from the other universes.
you go to use the dark hold to come
Okay,
after me.
if you can picture what the universe would be like, this is like this. Okay, look at a puddle of water. You ever see oil on the water or soap bubbles? That's what the hell
Yeah.
it is, pretty much. And there's so many replicas of the same bubbles. They're just out there in so many different dimensions that we just can't reach. But
Yep.
they do exist. They definitely exist. They could exist in technologies where they're advanced. They could be the exact same thing as we are. You know, they could be thinking the exact same thing we are. But think about it like this: your atoms, your actual makeup, your down to your molecular level, exists in many different um realms. You
Yep.
could be found everywhere in the universe. That's the point. So if you exist everywhere, then you exist in other universes. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm no scientist, but I do study astronomy like insanely well because
Pass the blunt.
The
No, I'm
Marvel
kidding.
comic universe is kind of similar to actual space. So is DC. If you start getting into those levels, it gets like it's
It
very
gets fucking
philosophical.
crazy.
It gets it's very well written. What I
Yeah.
like about Marvel and DC, I'm gonna do a special on this soon. They both have the void.
12
They
part
both
series.
have the void. You know, I've been collecting a lot of comics. I've been doing bundles lately, and I've been getting a lot of the new 52s. I think that has to do with the reset of the other universe. But I'm gonna read all of those because this is like to the point where when you get to that level, you start understanding how the universe it kind of conforms to what possibly could be out there for us. We just haven't,
I like how
those
like
sentinels
comics
got
could
here
do
yet.
that. How comics could do that for you, like different ways of thinking. Like like how you're like describing everything and like comics. That's amazing how it makes you think that way just by reading comics.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like
know
they
what it
should be
is,
teaching this shit
right?
in school. Assign us
Right.
comic books and shit. I mean, like
Listen,
they instead of reading about dead white dudes, like well, that's what the basically what we did. Like in
yeah.
for, like we had to learn about theory. Like just go read comic books. It's better. It's fun.
This was my education as a child, and I'm telling you, it's made me more smarter and astute to the world. Like
I mean,
I
look at
always,
you. Look, you have like thousands of dollars behind you.
and this
You're
is
doing
from
well.
years. And I'm telling you, this is from years of doing one thing. And I'm telling you, the reason why you see all that behind me, because this is true. With great power comes great responsibility. That sunk into me like a goddamn inceptional thought that just never left my head to the
Yeah,
point that I'm like, thank you. And my life's been blessed just by that alone.
yeah. That's what I
So
was trying to do.
that one thing changed someone's life like mine. And in
Yeah.
such, that's how I say thank you back,
That's why.
because it's something that I feel very serious about. Like when I started
Yeah.
really thinking about it, that's one of the most truant sayings ever to come out. And when they asked Stan Lee where he got the idea from, he said he really doesn't remember. It's just something that
Mhm.
came to him like he needed something to put down. Great power, great responsibility. Like just imagine that. Something that's profound. And this is not just me saying this. I mean, when you think about it, comics had a way of, you know, on the download teach kids about what's right and wrong, the morality,
Exactly.
the right thing to do.
That's what
That's
all
fine.
started.
That's what comics mean to me. It
Yeah.
was my childhood growing up and starting to see that there was a lot of science in here. There was a
Yeah.
lot of superstition. There was a lot of mutations, a lot of powers, a lot of different things going on. That science was blended in. I mean, I really felt like I was a comic nerd as a kid, and I loved every second of it. I mean, I was lucky to the point that I was a comic nerd that all my friends were like down to be hanging with me. They were like, because they saw the way I was taking care of comics when I was a kid. I've been
Yeah.
obsessed with these things, so like almost everything back there is like from my childhood. That sequel was over. I have another one I haven't submitted yet. It's a barcode one. I just gotta press it out soon. But I got things
Yeah.
I could dig out. I'm gonna be digging out soon. Just so I'm gonna be submitting some stuff to CGC. Like that new
Yeah.
Silk. I mean, I have like the second printings of the Amazing Spider-Man 4, the Silk edition when he gets bit in the hand. I think I have 8 of them, and I was looking up with the second printing now just going through the roof. And I also got some new silks that I just recently got in. I don't know. I just had a feeling about silk. I was like, silk, just buy them. So I bought a couple
Yeah.
when they first came out. Bought a couple a few years ago, and now I'm starting to watch all this stuff just rise. And
Yep.
like people are buying all this stock cryptocurrency. I'm not financial advisor. You'll lose all your money unless you listen to me. Buy comics, buy comics, buy comics. I'm
It's
telling you
safer.
right now,
It's safer
buy
than
it's
cryptocurrency.
guaranteed. It's guaranteed. And if you're worried about how you're gonna protect yourself, don't worry. Buy tons of shotguns and just set them up in different
The
positions.
fuck?
And whoever comes in unexpectedly, you do what you gotta do.
Or you just buy insurance for your comics. It's like, damn, okay.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't say I'm
That's
hunting
what you
anybody,
said,
my friend.
Alex.
If
Insurance.
somebody's breaking in,
Shotgun,
I mean, I
same
don't know
thing.
what you're gonna do, but the layer's well armed, so we ready to roll.
You got to
So
remember, Alex
everyone,
is in California. They immediately go to insurance because their gun laws are so strict.
Oh, I see.
no, it's just I
I
don't.
feel bad for
That's not
you,
why. It's
son.
just I don't want guns in my house. I mean, like, like, goddamn.
So you watch things that explode and go boom, but you don't want to have an explosion boom in your house. Why is
No,
that, Alex? Let's talk
because what
about
if
this
I
for a
miss and
second.
shoot one of my comics?
No. You will never shoot your comics.
What if I miss? Like, oh
That's
shit.
what the insurance is
Alex,
for.
this is what the insurance is for. But
I get
what if
insurance for my
someday,
comics, for my gun, for myself.
yes,
I get
what
insurance
if
for the. I get
you're sitting there
insurance.
one day and you're using the light on your gun to read your comics, and then you accidentally shoot yourself in the leg while the comic's on the leg? Yeah, all these what ifs can happen.
I get insurance for the home invader. Like,
If
okay, don't
that
you
what
worry.
if happens, if someone is reading their comic with the light on the end of their AR-15 and they
It
No,
has
but
to
shoot
be
like,
an
themselves
Amazing
in the leg,
Fantasies 15 and a 9.8.
say, oh
they do
shit.
not deserve to be paid out from any insurance company.
The insurance company, how did this happen? Like you like knocked out 3 insurances in one day. What the fuck? You got your house insurance, you got your health insurance, you got your common insurance. What the fuck happened? It's like I was reading, like it was late, like I was too lazy to reach the light, and I had this urge just to read it, but I had my gun next to me, so I turned that shit on.
And then realize you put your thumb on the top when you were pulling it up to get closer to the page, and then pop. Yeah,
Where
I
you
was
got-
turning it with the gun. I was turning it with the muzzle of the gun. Turning
So
the
you're gonna
pages.
have those 3 insurances, and then on top of that, you're gonna have the guy who sues the school that gave him the diploma, so we'll make that money too.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like, oh shit, we should have given him a diploma. God damn it. We knew it was a mistake.
Told you we shouldn't have passed him along.
No, they wanted to
Damn,
get him the hell
damn,
out.
there's no
Well,
kid left behind. Shit law.
I thought it was every kid gets kicked in the behind law. That's what it's called, right?
I
You get
know there's
kicked
no
the hell
kid
out of
left
school.
behind.
Right, get
No
kicked
kid
in the
left
behind.
behind,
Get
even
kicked
if
out of
they
school.
shoot themselves in the foot.
Oh my god.
Like we knew we should have given him a diploma as soon as we witnessed him shoot himself in the foot before graduation. We knew this was going to happen again,
There was writing on the walls. Why didn't we listen?
and it's the same foot.
Well, listen, man, you're not gonna shoot yourself if you buy a gun. They don't just go off. I mean,
Hey, you
guns
don't know.
don't shoot people. People shoot people. The gun doesn't do anything. I do
True.
know. I've been
No,
handling
but what
weapons
if you
my
use
whole
a
life, and
gun?
I'm good.
Well, if you use a gun to pull the trigger of another gun, technically the gun is pulling the trigger, so it's shooting someone else.
Listen, I don't know what kind of what is that? Like Tom and Jerry, like trap contraption you're making there, guy. But
I'm making some Home Alone shit. Don't judge me.
yeah, okay, that's what I'm seeing. Yeah,
It's that home. I'm trying to be
don't
Kevin
laugh, though.
McAllister.
I did know guys that knew how to set up shotguns. Pretty much like it was their little private home security system. And pretty much if you was to open the door when they weren't there, guess what? You're getting shot with the shotgun when he's not there. Yeah.
Shit.
So if you're doing one of those setups, yeah, I would suggest that you just keep the shotgun to your side, uncocked, leave it loaded, uncocked. So when somebody walks in, you just do that ching.
Nah, I'd rather use a
Look-
knife. Like in my sister's words,
Maybe next time I come on, I'll
I
bring
want to
my
be-
I'll
I
bring
want
my
to be.
shorty.
I want the people. The last thing they see is me as I kill them. I'm just kidding. That's what my sister says. Like, God damn, why you gotta make it
The last
dark?
thing they see is you. They're
The
gonna be
last
like,
thing they see-
please shoot me now.
Oh, hell
I'm
no.
begging for you. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, they see my face and they die. It's like, oh shit, I didn't get to stab him. And I stab
That's
him.
gonna
Both.
be
One.
That's gonna be in Alex's wedding speech at his sister's wedding. Just be careful. She told me the last thing she wants someone to
it'd be
see.
my toes. Yeah, like she told me. My sister won't deny. She's like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'll stab you. Don't worry.
I'll be the last thing you see.
Oh, I know it's a little off topic, but are you guys aware of what's going on with Silk? Did
Hold
you
on, we
hear
were
about
on
this?
topic.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell we're doing anymore.
I don't know. Like this, like totally derailed
Is it just
from the
me?
question because you
I'm
asked
at a
us.
wedding. I'm like, where the hell
Like
where
you
am I?
asked us, like,
Oh, you're
what we
so
think
great.
about Shuri going as Black Panther, but then we came to this point.
Exactly. You see how having females at leads make everything confusing? No, I'm kidding.
Whoa! Hey, we do not share the same views, guys. The audience.
You can leave hate at the spider's lair. It's okay. That was a
So,
joke.
real quick for Black Panther,
Yeah.
I don't think that Shuri was truly the lead. I don't think there was a lead in this movie, and I think that was perfectly okay because you had this massive storyline taking place with all of these characters interacting within that storyline, and I think that's where Marvel needs to be more often.
Yeah.
Is a storyline with characters interacting with it, because there was so much that happened in this that if you have one lead character, it doesn't do it justice, because then you're seeing it from the eyes of that one lead character, but you saw every single person's perspective in this movie flat out. Like,
But to be honest, it didn't feel convoluted either.
yeah, at the start, the mom was the lead. I can never remember her name. Then like it moves to Shuri.
Angela Bassett.
Angela Guns. She's got the guns, baby. I tell
Then
you,
it moves to Shuri.
You
Then
seen her like in Tina Turner, right?
hell yeah.
Like she was
the hell out and choke you the hell out.
She's buffed out. Damn, she looks the same.
Okoye
Honestly.
is a main
Alex, she would
character for
kick your ass.
some of it.
I wouldn't mind.
M'Baku was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
those ad lib lines that he had. He's actually from where I'm from. He went to school 20 minutes down the street from where I live. He
Is he
graduated
about
from
your
Brighton.
age?
Yeah.
Oh,
Winston
shit.
Dukes.
Damn.
So yeah. Same with what was his face? The guy from who passed away. Um, I can't
Was
think
that
of his
about the
name. I can see his
colonizer?
face, but I can't think of his name. What?
The colonizer? That's what Shuri
No,
calls him?
no, not him. From
The
Hunger Games.
colonizer.
Shit. What was his name?
Stupido.
Anyways,
Wait, the guy was from Hunger Games in this movie?
no, he wasn't in this movie. He's dead, but he's also from Rochester, New York. So it's kind of cool to see. Like,
you're talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman?
yes, yep, he grew up right down the street from me too.
Nice.
Damn.
You should have hung out
So
with him more,
You should have
man.
hung out with them.
Yeah, no, he didn't want to. He was too busy buying comics. You idiot. No kidding.
I
God
didn't even
damn
know
it.
they. I had no
Instead of
idea who
making
Winston Dukes
friends, you
was.
were like in your house reading comics.
Yes, exactly. See?
How dare I?
How dare you? See, comics weren't right for you. They were right for me, but for you, you should have just gave them to me. You would have been better off, and then you would have been
How would he have
rich.
known you?
Then this
He's
would be
6
Alex's
years old.
show, and we'll be yelling at him.
I would have never crossed paths with him anyways. He was probably already acting by the time I graduated high school.
Listen, man, don't make excuses. Just because you were 6 years old doesn't mean you couldn't do it. There's a lot of kid prodigies in the world, okay?
Yeah.
You were just a normal kid who wanted to stay normal and read comics, so it's
You're
all
right.
good, though.
Dang it, Chris.
But anyways, so I really don't think Shuri was the lead character. We got to
Same.
see a lot from Namor's point of view. We got to see a lot from his like right hand girl, her point of view. I thought that her character was phenomenal in this.
Mhm.
Like there was just so much that happened in this movie, and as you said, Alex, it wasn't convoluted. It wasn't overdone to the point where it was like all jumbled up. It was a story being told with multiple characters going through it. And like when Shuri and Ironheart were taken out and like or not taken out but kidnapped, like it focused in on Okoye and like her struggle. And like that was a crazy battle. Like emotionally to see her like try to battle for her ability to stay in the position she was in, and like you can understand where Shuri's mother's coming from because like this is now the third time that Okoye's kind of failed, and not that any of them have been Okoye's fault or even within her control, but like there's a lot that went on in this movie that was so well told, and it doesn't feel like it was a rewrite of a script. Like that was my biggest thing, is it did not feel like they completely went off base with the script they started with. They took whatever they had and just ran with it. And that was
Unlike
amazing to
Morbius.
see. Unlike Morbius.
Okay, so you want to know what's funny about this whole conversation? No
You.
one except
I'm just
for
kidding.
Chris in the last minute actually mentioned Ironheart. Now, what you're saying, I do agree with, up to the point of you had. Listen, this is not us. This is identity politics and all that, and that's fine. You had one strong black female protagonist who was a super genius. So what's better than that? Let's put two at the same time unnecessarily, and then make the other one look like a goddamn Power Ranger. I hated her damn costume. It
I
was
felt
the
like
worst. It was the
felt
worst.
I
Listen
felt
to
that they
me.
added Ironheart
Okay.
because they're gonna bring her
Okay.
into another what isn't she gonna have her own show or something?
Yeah,
She's going to be
I
an armor
understand
wolf
why
of
they want to
Terror.
do it, and I get why you would do that because they're gonna set her up for her own Disney Plus series. I
Yeah.
understand why you would do it,
I
but
don't think
come
they
on,
should
man.
have done it
That
like that.
costume Listen, Tony Stark designed the costume where his afterburners won't sear him in the back of his goddamn neck. That
In
thing
a
will
cape.
destroy you. That costume's ugly. I thought I was watching the Power Rangers. I was like, what the hell? I didn't know if that was the Green Ranger or the Red Ranger. I was like, what am I looking at here? And then I was like, oh, it glows. It looks ugly. Why did they have to do such a horrible costume? She has better costumes in the comics. She has one that's almost like the old school Iron Man one. I love that one. But you're gonna put her in this
Yeah.
design to see. I hope that was the test to see if people like that. And me personally, I didn't like the costume. I thought it was really rushed. The CGI looked horrible for the costume. It's weird because Marvel has this kind of it's been going on for like over a year now. This CGI has been like, hit and miss. Look at if you guys watch Love and Thunder, what's funny is Tahiti Wakiti's making fun in the end about how the blue guy, I forget his damn name, Korg, I guess he's
Yeah.
like he's Watigi's fucking, his
hmm
his doppelganger, and he was even making fun of how fake he looked. Like, and it's true because this Marvel's like this Phase 4 feels like it's been overloaded. To me, it feels like it's been overloaded and rushed, and it ended the way that they said it was gonna end with identity politics, and now we're gonna enter Phase 5 MCU because that's what I'm gonna call it from now on. It's the goddamn MCU, and girl power and all that. And I wish her more luck because I want to see like the heroes have to come back because no matter what anybody says or feels, this is what drew you to the movie to begin with. I'm not saying that they can't carry on their own eventually, but make a Shuri movie and there's no Black Panther coming on, and I guarantee you it's not going to carry anything. In fact, even with this movie, as good as it's doing, I mean, if you're not accounting for inflation and viewership in general, I mean, it should be a lot higher. And I really don't think that this movie I feel like maybe a half a million for this movie, which will be a disaster for it. I mean, because this is Disney. I mean, it's a Marvel, and this really their budget is about, I mean, it was like 250 million to make. They have to make about 700 million to just break even because you got to add about another 250 million to the advertisement budget, then another 200 million for the overseas advertisement. It's just insane. Like the advertisement alone could be as much as making the damn movie.
I
But
don't know
without
if
it,
they
you're not gonna
bother to
make any
advertise
money.
anymore, though.
They do.
How's the point?
I don't know because you have free advertisement. You could just be all over line. Put your stuff on YouTube. If I
Where
were
are they
you
putting
guys,
all the trailers? YouTube.
listen, guys, you pay millions to people. Just pay thousands to startup YouTubers like us. We're taking. I'll play your commercial freaking 20 times a day. I'll make sure that I'll
I'll
be
just
at
dedicate my
Alex's
whole
house,
YouTube
and
channel to
he will.
that.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
it.
even
And
have
then
to pay me. Just give me the
just
content.
give
I
me.
want to
I'll
see
do
it
it for
first.
free.
No, I'll be like, dude, just like let me get in line first to see it. Then fuck it, I'll go for free. You
No,
don't have to
but
pay me.
seriously, why are we paying like? And we obviously, I mean, like Disney, DC, all of them. Why are they paying for TV spots? Everybody knows about them at this stage of the game. They are not a small movie.
You know what I think
Like,
it is? I think it comes down to it's just the way that business is done,
yeah.
That's it. You gotta hire up, then you got the middleman, then you got the actors, then you got the customers. And it's just like tiers. And that's it. The people on top control everything on top. Why would you want to relinquish that control? You built it, it's yours. So I feel like it's just done like that for preservation purposes, but
Yeah.
there is a system in play. And I know it sounds crazy, right? Advertisers, they're gonna pay you. Why do you need them? Why do you do it for free? And I agree. I feel like they have strength enough. I mean, me personally, if I'm making a movie, Marvel Disney, and Disney names behind it, I advertise that on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I would even advertise it on my platform.
Yep.
When you're watching something, I give you a lower tier for free because you know what you're gonna get. I'm gonna still get paid because those commercials are gonna pay for themselves. You're
So
watching that with commercials from Disney. You're advertising to your customers. So what we're talking about is free advertisement. There you go, Disney. My check will be $1.5 million. It's all good. You can make it out. Oh, if you want, just give me an Amazing Fantasies 15, a 9.6, and then we could call it even. And I'll be
all
good
even
with
right
that.
there.
Yeah, definitely.
Disney just give me an Action Comics #1.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man. No. You
Is
gotta
that
ask
even the
Warner Brothers
franchise?
for that. You
I
need
It
to
know, I
could
ask
know.
just
Warner
it can
Brothers.
even be Superman's face CG seed. Just his
Yeah.
face from the cover. That's it.
Yeah,
All you
I
need.
don't no, that's the funny part. Just ask them for that. Like, what? You don't want one of our comics? And no, just give me the Action Comics.
Yeah, I just want Action Comics #1. I want to still go to
I
that
want-
secret vault and get all those goodies that they got down there. You know,
I
just
want
give me-
someone to walk into Marvel Studios and ask to be paid in DC Comics.
Yo, watch it. I do that, and I get the job. Like, oh shit, Chris, it actually worked.
They'll be like Spider Slayer attack. That's it. Now he'll just be. There'll be all those CGCs will come off the wall, start flying at him. That's it.
There you go.
Me just blocking it, like.
He's blocking them with DC Comics, the Superman comics, Action Comic in one hand and Batman in the other. There you go.
The
But it's
ultimate
Spidey, yo.
battle.
Good luck.
Then-
There we go. We're
and
gonna
then-
make a film like this. That's it. We're making this film like
Yeah,
Sausage
then-
Factory, but
I like
comics
us-
in real life.
And then like 10 p.m. Chris's time, 7 p.m. my time, we pop on. We stop the fight. We just come on here. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" As if nothing happened.
So, I guess my biggest thing is: do you think these studios, these bigger studios like DC and Marvel and like Disney itself, do you think they're stuck in their ways
Yes.
of
I
how they
think that
market?
Disney, the way that they market, is always been, even though it's weird now, and I understand that, from a business standpoint, you want to have a broader reach to your audience. The problem is with Disney is that their old school way of advertising is not reaching the audience that they think they want. In fact, the audience that they think they want doesn't really want to be bothered with Disney either.
Yep.
And I think somebody needs to walk in there and really explain this to them. It goes like this, Disney. What you have in your possession is two of the greatest works ever made in the whole universe.
Yeah.
Stop taking them and destroying them and changing them because your writers are just like, well, I don't like the lore. Well, then give it to somebody who will like the damn lore. Because wouldn't you just want the customers who are our age, who have the accounts, who will pay you because the kids are not paying you for the account? A Disney account come for the adults. Who are the
Yep.
adults? Where are the adults? We were the kids who grew up with all this. So I just find it funny that a company doesn't understand that your customer base, your customers are right. Why? This is the base. We're the base. We are
Well-
the base. All you have to do is just cater to what we know. I don't have no problem with changing anything in the movie. I just hope what you're saying is true about Wakanda Forever, that there will be a Black Panther returning, because do not kill what Chadwick Boseman. I mean, out of respect for me, respectful thing to do would do for him would be to continue that. You would
They
have
did.
to continue that. But I'm saying with Shuri, but she's not the real Black Panther. Even
No,
in the
not
comics,
her.
she gives that back. So I'm just hoping that they do pass it on to somebody else. In the next movie, like we get a definitive Black Panther.
They will.
Good. Then I
T'Challa.
don't have a problem with that movie. Give me my
T'Challa will
Black
be
Panther.
the next Black Panther.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
You sure?
I guarantee that. I'm saying it right here, right now.
Okay.
Years before they've even announced the next Black Panther movie, that T'Challa's son, T'Challa Jr., will be the next Black Panther by the end of Black Panther 3.
That could be an interesting thing because but how many years are we is this gonna correlate with the Secret Wars, you think? Well,
I
we're
would
talking
say so.
about Kang the Conqueror, so time travel. So it's not gonna. You see, that's the problem I have. I want to see Black Panther in the Secret Wars. Maybe they'll put Shuri in it. Maybe they'll put Ironheart in it. Oh, that's right. We don't need Avengers. We got the MCU to the rescue. It makes sense now. So the whole Kang thing is another version of Secret Wars done with the females. I like this. Listen, I'm down to see this, but now I see your plan. Oh, Kevin Feige, you said it. He said it. He said.
Do you think Ant-Man's going to die in February?
I hope not.
I hope not, but yeah. Let's see. Let's just do a checklist. Iron Man dead. Captain America dead. Who else is dead? Oh, Black Panther, unfortunately, rest in peace, dead. If you look at it, it's like, but there's replacements for all, which is fine. There's replacements for everyone.
Thor hasn't
like-
died yet, though. So
Well,
you
he's
have
Oh,
taking a
that.
break
Thor's
from acting.
unworthy, man. Come on. And doesn't his stepdaughter have the hammer
M-
now?
Mjolnir.
Yeah. Does she have it or does he have it back?
No,
He
He
was,
he's taking a break from acting right now.
and I
He
no.
don't
just
blame him.
he just found out that he has
Alzheimer's,
double
right?
the pre-markers of Alzheimer's. So
Yeah.
not that
Oh,
he has
damn.
Alzheimer's, but
Yeah, I read
his
that.
chances of having it are
Are very high.
are
Oh, poor
getting it.
guy.
But he
Yeah.
did say he will return as Thor if the storyline wraps it up for him.
Yep.
He said it will have to wrap up Thor's storyline. That will be the only reason he will come back.
He thinks that Thor would die in the next um version of whatever solo movie or whatever movie they put him in.
Yeah,
Which
he
I really
would die.
isn't the
But then what
case.
happens to his power? Because the power doesn't
Well,
die.
I think that they don't have to kill him off. I think they could just do something with him. Like
Yeah.
I think it's kind of getting boring now. To be honest, in my opinion, that
I
every
agree.
character's dying off. Like, okay,
Right.
we
Now
get
you
it.
understand the frustration. Yeah, we get
do
it.
something else with the character. Like Gore didn't have to die. Like what the fuck? Like we could have had him more.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started with Gore the God Butcher. The God Butcher. This is the man who took a piece of Noel's sword, the all black, made it into one of the most ultimate weapons, and he finds eternity, and it's just a white room with just what the hell? I was like, what are you doing? This is. There's no way in hell he would have got beat like this in the comics. No. Gore the Butcher's the God Butcher is exactly what he says he is. He is a God Butcher. This is Noel's weapon. Noel is the god who kicked his ass and left his essence with him. That's how he got that sword. It was from
Again,
Noel.
I want to see the real director's cut of Love and Thunder
Um,
because 20 extra minutes of footage and
Wait, is
an
that a
R
thing?
rating would have changed that so much.
Oh, yeah.
so what do you think they were missing out of there?
I think they did the kidnap storyline to kind of PG-13 it up,
Mm-hmm.
as
Mhm.
well as get slightly more new fans into the franchise. I think that's what Phase 4 has kind of been, is let's see how we can get newer fans into this franchise and continue to build it out. And Kevin Feige knows it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be what Phase 1 through 3 was, because now it's been done. It's they've built a franchise, they've built this up, and they've done it. So it's never going, like, Phase 4, 5, and 6 will not be Phase 1, 2, and 3. And Phase 1, 2, and 3 were great, but they had their issues too. Looking at Phase 4, this is similar. Like, what we've seen is very similar to what we saw in Phase 1, where the movies shined because they were the first time we saw these amazing major characters on the big screen. Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Hulk. Well, Hulk kind of had his own movie, but his movies always really sucked. The CGI was either terrible, or the way they played the character without CGI was terrible.
Well, the
And now
Incredible
you
Hulk
put,
with Edward Norton was really good.
yeah, and now you
Yeah, I do
put
like Edward Norton.
an Avengers team up, the very first time we've ever seen a team up movie of heroes on the big screen with new technology, with early 2000s technology, early 2010s technology, and people just ate it up. Was it perfect? Did it age well? Not necessarily, but at the same time, like, it it was such an amazing thing because no one expected it. No one knew this was going to be this big in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I will say this much though. At the beginning of everything though, it did make a lot of money, and I credit that to the fact that they tried to preserve. Look, let's go back a little to the Lord of the Rings. Okay, I love what Peter Jackson did because he respected what he had in his hands, and he knew what he had in his hands was special, and he wanted to do justice to that actual, you know, creator of the lore. And he even said that he wouldn't presume or assume that he had any business of changing anything that the creator made. Um, I'm not saying don't build new. What I'm saying is that even what you were saying at the end of Phase 4, it's like they kill every male character. It seems, and we gotta resupply them hopefully in Phase 5. Um, Unnecessarily. They ain't doing this in the comics. I feel like I get that you're trying to reach out to a new audience, but at the same time, you should still also understand that the people who've been following you through those first 3 phases, going to Phase 4, that are following you into Phase 4, we've been there since the beginning. I get it, you're
Yeah.
trying to pick up new people, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna do my comics and I'm gonna do my own comic book company, movie shows. I'm just gonna stick to what the fans want, pretty much, and if you don't know what your fan base wants, just ask because they will tell you. I don't
Oh
care
yeah.
what group you're trying to target. Ask them and they will tell you. Just like if you ask me, I'll tell you exactly what I like. I like continuity. I like respect of the lore. I'm not saying that you can't add anything new to the universe. Stan Lee made the universe to be expanded. He says it
Hmm.
many times that he expects the universe to be expanded. I don't think he expected them to kill off the universe and then rebuild it. You know, I mean, there was this old story they tried to do back in the day. I don't know if you guys know about the new universe. Oh Jesus Christ, it was the worst freaking comics. They came out in like about the 80s. They were trying on an experiment, I guess, and trying these whole new characters, some new universe of heroes. And I'm telling you right now, yeah, text it please if you want, because it totally sucked. I mean, like, it was an attempt to like not take down Marvel comic universe, but try to present a new universe into it. And back then it was just rejected. I mean, like, and I read some of them, and I wasn't a fan of it, but rejected hard. Like, this is not the
Yeah.
first time you had a pushback from the fan base. These are the hardcore, like, true believers. Like, this is how we grew up. Like, that kind of everywhere you try to shove something down our throats that we didn't want or ask for. I just
Yeah.
feel like this. I have no problem with inclusivity, and inclusivity. Everybody wants to be. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But just make sure that who you're making this for are the people who are actually putting money into your pocket versus the people who are putting money in your pocket. Maybe they're just like, well, I don't want to be preached and lectured. In Phase 1, 2, and 3, I wasn't preached and lectured about anything. I don't have to hear about anybody's personal problem. Let's just get to the business of killing. That's it. Kicking ass, taking names, getting that Infinity Gauntlet back. Then we'll do. Oh wait, Civil War first. Then we'll just make up and go get that Infinity Gauntlet. Even though that was like kind of not continuity, I did like the Infinity Wars. That for me was like my favorite part of the MCU. This Phase 4 to me, it just ended in the way that I thought it was gonna end, which is pretty much scattered. And now we'll see. I'm hoping during this time they're going to be taking a lot of surveys and asking people specific questions about what would you like to see in the future. I want to see a freaking Thanos snap, bring all the heroes back, put them in the regular sequel wars the way you're supposed to. Let's do this. Let's do it the way you're supposed to do it. It's like having. Can you imagine that? I'm giving you the damn key to a freaking vault that has gold, and you're like, nah, you know what? I'll just take that vault over there and I'll try my best. And I work in the business, and I'm telling you guys, a lot of this has to do with the pride of the writers. You don't understand. A lot of writers do not respect the law, and these are writers that work for these companies. It's not like I'm saying anything that's outrageous. No, they don't. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard about what happened in The Witcher. Did you hear about how okay, so in The Witcher, pretty much when they did have Superman, his agreement was um I'll do The Witcher so long as you respect the law. He not only like loved the books, he loved the video game as well. Now the video game doesn't follow it as close as the books, but he wanted to stay on the show and do it so long as they you had goddamn Superman. So instead of just doing that, towards the end of season 2, he starts hearing them complaining about how they don't like the story, they want to write their own story, and he pulled himself out. Imagine that you had one of the highest actors in your show, and because of something silly like that, you couldn't just respect the man's wishes. I mean, there's something to be said about that. I'm
Yeah.
not saying this wasn't good. The movie, I like the acting. I mean, Angela Bassett. I mean, God bless that woman. 64. She's still. I mean, that woman carried it. I
Yeah.
felt bad when she died. After that, I didn't want to be bothered anymore. I didn't care what happened because I felt like once she died, that's it. Movie died for me. I didn't care anymore. But she carried a lot of that movie. Great actress. I mean, the acting was great. I just, like I said, I just like hopefully, like you said, the son becomes the next Black Panther, and I hope that Shuri passes on the power to him. But why couldn't she make the damn herb before her brother died? You made it after the fact. I mean, now
Yeah.
you had time. I know.
And
I'm
she
always
didn't
gonna
have the key
complain.
ingredient. She didn't know what
Yeah.
made up the herb because they were all burned. One of the things that I didn't pick up on until toward the end of the movie was that Namor killed Angela Bassett's character. Not that she drowned, but he like forced her to drown. I didn't think about that. He
Yeah.
kept like if you
What if
look
she
at the
becomes one of
scene,
them?
that'd be kind of
Remember,
cool.
he is the God, the rain, the God, the rain of God, the God of rain. So
Yeah,
wouldn't he have that power then if it was given to his people to breathe? Maybe that was a ritual.
possibly. I don't
Hopefully
know.
she's back. Maybe she comes back pissed off for letting her die.
But I mean, I like when Shuri said that she said something like, "You drowned my mother," and I was like, but he didn't necessarily. Oh shit! He actually kept the water in her lungs. Like he controlled that water, and I didn't even think about that
He's the God
until
of
like
rain.
toward the end of the movie. And I mean, that's just one of those things where it's like those little details start to like make more sense in your mind as you start to dive in deeper. Now, going back to like phase one, did you guys go see Iron Man in the theaters?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
definitely.
I didn't. At least
I
I don't
saw
remember
everyone.
going to see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I didn't. I don't know if it was just because I was young and dumb or it whatever girl I was dating at that time didn't want to go see that. She wanted to go see something else. Like
Oh, you took it to
2000
a rom com. Poor
Boo.
guy. Oh, you went to a rom
but
I would be like, no, we're seeing this.
I also
com.
wasn't
I mean, I'll
Then
leave
wake
you
up the
now
next
if you
day.
don't come with me to go see Iron Man.
Then
I
that's how I
wasn't
went to go
into the
see Iron
comics
Man by
back then.
myself.
I still have the
So
original Iron Man comic that was given out during that show.
I think I
Oh,
saw
lucky.
the
Yeah.
second one in theaters, but I honestly don't remember seeing any of the phase 1 movies in the theaters. I really don't.
No, I saw
Well,
almost
Iron Man
every
2
single
is
one of them
phase
in the
1.
theaters. I was very excited about the phase one, so I saw everything in the theaters. I
Same.
liked Iron Man. I liked Iron Man 2. I wasn't a fan of Iron Man 3.
Okay.
I found Iron Man 3 to be a little all over the place for me. It was just too all over the place. But Iron Man 1 and 2 were really good. I mean, him fighting Mickey Rourke and I was like, I didn't really like that either. I was like, oh, this is kind of like dry. It's like Mickey Rourke, man.
Oh,
Mickey,
come
why
on.
do you have to become a
That was
boxer,
so
man?
good.
Why? Mickey Rourke had to get punched in the face so much. Mickey, stop. Just be an actor. Jesus Christ. This guy was like a hunk back in the day. He had it all, and he was like, "No, I want to box." It is what it
Yeah.
is. But I liked what I liked about it was that Tony Stark. I mean, and that's what I'm talking about with the pure. I call it the pure phase one. Um, and I'll put Spider Man in that, even though he's not part of that universe, because he was coming up during that time as well. And I gotta say, like, when they were picking these characters, they were picking them to perfection. Look at Iron Man, Tony Stark.
Hmm.
Open up the comic. There you go. Not only that, Robert Downey Jr. pulled off an amazing job playing the billionaire playboy genius. And he did it to a T. That's
Yeah.
Iron Man. That's Iron Man. Look at Thor. This man worked into becoming a god, okay? Say what you want. I don't give a shit what they're giving you. They could be giving you freaking cow stories. Who cares? You put in the work to become like that. You look like goddamn Thor. That's Thor. You see, like during this phase, this is what they were doing. They were actually making the characters become the characters that become in the future. Same thing with Captain America. Perfect from the like to me. I was like, oh my god, they're like hitting everything
Yeah.
on point. Look at T'Challa, Black Panther. Jesus Christ. I'm looking at the old school Black Panthers like, wow, I'm impressed what I'm
Yeah.
seeing. I mean, it was a good building block, and I think that's why it made so much money. And like I said, because it was giving you an origin story of the already existing continuity of the product. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like that was how you get the long term fans to stick around, which is like why Phase 4 is bothering me so much. You know, it's like no, I won't say it's bothering me a lot. I just say it gets to a point where I'm just like, I want to be satisfied. I want to have a great story. I don't want to be like left clueless. Phase 4 shouldn't have left us in the dark. We should have had Phase 4 with some clarity closing so we can enter. And now it's just all like, go here. Hopefully we'll like this. Hopefully we won't. Because when you're going to see Phase 1, you already knew Iron Man's in the movie. So you already know what to expect. You know, now I don't know what the hell's going on. You know, I don't know how this is going to work out. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe it'll make money, but I don't think that this Wakanda Forever is going to make any money near like what the original Black Panther made. And it's just because at the end of the day, as good as anything can be, especially old heads like me, we going to see a Black Panther movie. And when you see that 100-pound girl running around, and listen, she took the formula. I know she's supposed to be strong and all that. I get that, you know. I get that, you know. But still, it does look funny. You got this chick just jumping around. They're like, no, come on, girl. They throw her halfway across the floor. I mean, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. If Angela Bassett would have had that costume, I would have been believing that because that girl was fit, man. Come on. They should have kept her. I was so mad. I was like, no, when? Who's going to become Black Panther now? Like, I already knew it was going to be Shuri, but I was just like, put that on her. She was
I gotta say, one of my favorite lines from the entire movie is right after she takes it and like pushes that thing and it goes flying across the room. And Riri Williams just goes, "Can we all get a hit of that?"
Yeah. That was funny. I thought that was funny.
Riri kept the Riri.
I mean, personally, Dominique Thorne played Riri Williams phenomenally. And I know, like, obviously you don't have to have Ironheart in there, but what other character in the Marvel universe would have been able to create that like justifiably with a good storyline just like Riri Williams had, where she was challenged to try to create something where you can find vibranium in the wild outside of Wakanda. What other character would you justifiably say would make sense to go do that? And personally, I can't think of one. I think Riri Williams was the perfect character to introduce her character, introduce the actress that we were going to see, and have her go through an origin story without us truly seeing an origin movie. And I feel like that's what one of the things that a lot of fans were saying to Marvel at the end of Phase 3 was stop with the origin movies. And now they've stopped with the origin movies and they've been doing really great origins inside of movies and TV shows. And people are now bitching about that. So it's like, we did what you asked.
And now you're still not happy.
You're still pissed off.
Exactly.
What do you want?
We want what we want at the time we want. And in 6 months from now, I'm gonna want something different as well. That's it. Just in case I change my mind. You can't say I'm a flip flopper. I'm telling you I'm going to. No.
Say, make up your mind already.
So write the script for Armor Wars. Tell me I'll tell you I love it, and then it's gonna come out and you fucked it up.
Oh my god, don't even get me started with the Armor Wars. Please don't mess that up. I love it. But there's so many there are a couple of versions of Armor Wars I like. But once again, I'll say I do like the original one, but I don't think they're gonna do the original one. But it's all good though. With Armor Wars, I mean, don't mess this up, please. Just it's a real easy story to tell.
You know they're going to mess it up.
In any timeline. Oh boy, let me see.
I literally opened my phone and this is what popped up. Actor Jose Garcia will be playing a variant of Tony Stark in Iron Man in Avengers Secret Wars. That would be pretty cool.
Show me again.
Jose Garcia.
Yeah. What is he gonna be doing?
Well, yeah, but there's no. So there we go. So we have
Tony Stark.
Oh, I see.
Secret Wars. I like that. That's gonna be kind of cool. I opened my phone to check what's going on and stuff and see if my wife texted me and Instagram pops open and is like, "Hey, look at this."
It's like, "Hey, I hear you. Hold on, I got something for you. Wait a, hold on." I'm checking my phone. Oh, I got a notification from the Comics Lounge. Okay, I gotta tell that guy I won't be there tonight.
There you go. Next week, I definitely want to talk
Oh
Silk, and I
man.
want to talk all about the Spider Family. I think it'll be a
Oh,
perfect
so,
week to do it because
oh
it's
yeah.
Thanksgiving week. But I really
Sweet.
want to talk about like the Spider people we're gonna see in Silk, the Spider people we're gonna see in Madam Web, with Tarantula and like who Madam Web is. So Spider's Lab, I need you here for that one because you definitely have more
Oh,
knowledge on it than
definitely. I
I do.
mean,
But
I already put up breaking news on it on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. I
okay,
did like a short on it, and pretty much yeah, it's confirmed Amazon's picking this show up, and we're gonna
yep,
have Silk be the first character, and it's gonna be called the Silk Society, and it
yeah,
looks so far like it looks pretty cool. I mean, um I get it. She was an add-on character as well, but I never had a problem with Silk. I like the stories. It was Peter Parker Spider who bit her and whatnot. The thing about it is that story goes real deep, and if they follow it the way I think they will, because you gotta understand, she was kidnapped in the comics and she was taken
yep.
away. She was kidnapped back to Korea, but over a couple of years became, you know, that version of Spider-Man. But
By
something's
Jackal, right?
drawing her back. Yeah, by
Okay,
Jackal, and something's drawing her back here. Like when she escapes, she kicks ass and she escapes. Something's drawing her back here. She don't know what that is yet. I don't want to give away too much because we could talk about that next week. But it gets real crazy in the story. But if they stick to it, I would say like this. I always like the Arrowverse. Make it like an Arrowverse where you have all these underlings of Spider-Man, but every once in a while you'll hear him being mentioned somewhere. Like I always like they were trying to do that with that DC show Titans, like or even like well I'll say Titans, like Batman was in the shadows, he was there, but it was about them and their struggles and their learning. If they do something similar to that, I would like it a lot. Clone Saga, yeah, I would love to see the Clone Saga, but that's the whole point. And in the article, it also states that they have over 700 characters at their disposal to use.
yeah,
So I can see a Clone Saga happening. I would love to see a Clone Saga happen. I mean, and I don't know if you guys really know this. The Clone Saga goes back like way into the early 70s, and this is like some really amazing stuff. Like we start
Yeah.
seeing Kingpin
Ben
involved in the
Riley.
Clone Saga, and I've been reading this since I was a kid. So everybody's talking about cloning in the late 80s and 90s. Like, yeah, I've been reading about cloning since the 70s. I'm like, what are you talking about? Say, yeah, they're cloning the comics. Then,
Yeah,
Ben Riley was the real Peter Parker at one point, I believe. I mean, I would
yeah.
have to go back and read it again to make sure, but Ben Riley was the
No,
real
you're right.
Peter Parker. And Peter Parker was Ben Riley. So it was
Yep.
just like that was the clone that was releasing. The memories were the same. You're talking about 70s and 80s that this was done. So, interesting story. I would love to see a Clone Saga. They could definitely do it. I mean, and what I like about it is, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be released by Amazon and Paramount, but it won't be directed by Amazon. I don't think it's going to be made by Marvel, I
Yeah,
believe. I'm not sure about that, but I hope so. Please don't listen. I would say let Amazon do it if I didn't see that debacle that they've been doing with the Rings of Power. Oh, that thing was horrible. Did you watch that yet, Chris? By the way.
no, I haven't had time to watch that, and
Right, you
based on
see,
what
that's
I've
how
heard,
bad it is. That you can't
yeah,
even make
based on
the
what I've heard,
time to
it's not
watch
worth
it.
it if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, and if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, don't watch it anyways.
Then you'll hate it
Hmm.
worse. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. If you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, you won't. You'll still hate it. But if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you want to rip your eyes out at the end. So it's all
Yeah,
good. I mean,
but
don't
yeah,
waste your time. This is what I do. I watch all this stuff so I can tell you guys to not waste your time. So it's not worth it.
from my understanding, it's going to be Sony. Sony's going to be the producers of it. Marvel's going to be the creative
Yes,
team behind it. I don't know who's directing it
perfect.
yet, but it's going to be like a joint task between Marvel and Sony, kind of like the way the Spidey movies have been.
Perfect. Yes.
And then Amazon is going to be the distributor in conjunction
Distributor,
with
right.
MGM Plus, which MGM
Yes.
Plus is
And
Paramount. Is that
yes,
correct?
which yeah, MGM's Paramount, but I believe that network was also bought by Amazon. So I believe that this was something
Okay.
that Amazon really wanted. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
you spend $1 billion, so drop a half a billion in the bucket and you see what you can make with this because this is gonna be very easy to make. You
Yeah.
could get any. No, there's a lot of Korean actresses out there that can play Cindy Moo perfectly right now. I mean, um, I never cared about Korean stuff up until a couple years ago. I started watching a bunch of Netflix stuff, and I gotta be honest, those people got some great, great, great. Their scripts are great. I mean,
Hmm.
I loved. I don't know if you guys watched the Squid Games. I love that show. That thing was really good. I was like,
It
I
was
was
good.
shocked.
I
And
liked it.
there's a lot of Koreans that can play Silk very easily that exists out there right now. So hopefully they get a real good actress to play her. And that's it. Put her on TV and let her be known because in the comics she needs a push anyway. She's still a relatively young character, you know.
Yeah.
Um and she needs a push. I mean, like I'm always down for them to expand this kind of universe. Just don't kill Peter Parker. If you do, I'm coming for you. And I'm gonna bring all that hammer behind me. That's it. I'm bringing the original black costume. I'll don it if I have to. I'll become a symbiote. I don't care. But I do like I do like the Silk story. I mean, like it's not the greatest. I like it though. It's entertaining to me. It's just another variant of Spider-Man, which I always like that. And this is why I call it the Spider's Lair, not the Spider Lair, because that's a singular character, but we have pluralific characters. You got Spider Gwen, you got Miles. I love all that. I get it too. Even with Miles, that was more of a inclusive character, but I didn't mind. I'll be honest. When I first saw the book and I picked up the Ultimate Fallout 4, I picked it up right off the newsstand. It was like the only one that was in great condition because the rest of them were destroyed. I was like, damn. But in hindsight, I should have took at least another two of them because I only took three, and um I read one and I put two away totally. It's in pristine condition. And I didn't know who the kid was. I was like, this looks interesting. I just like the cover. I was telling my fiance at the time, I was like, I think that this kid's gonna be something. She said, you think so? I said, yeah, I just feel this is a key. I just knew it was a key, you know? And it got a lot of criticism, but I don't agree with all the criticism that it got. I mean, for me personally, I thought Miles Morales was a good addition and how they did his arc story, and then they're making Peter Parker his mentor. I like that. If you keep it like that, that's a great story to have, because no one mentored Peter Parker, so at least now he can help someone from
Yeah.
making the same mistakes that he has. And that's not just like he's already a hero saving people, but now he's paying it forward. And if you're gonna build the Spider Verse around that philosophy, then sometime in the future a cameo has to be made, a mention or something. This will tie into the movies. Great. Let's expand it and see what happens with this. But very excited to see this because this is going so many crazy directions. But I would like to see what they do with the Spider Society and the Silk Society and see how this all unfolds because this is very interesting. And thank
Definitely.
God I didn't give it to Disney. If this would have been like, oh, we're doing all this and it would have been Disney, I would be protesting right now.
Yep.
I would get all of my followers to come follow me. We gotta go protest, but thank God they're not doing that. So it looks like it's in
Um,
good hands, and that's what I always respected about Sony.
Angela Kang from The Walking Dead is
Okay,
going to
there
be
you
the
go.
showrunner.
Okay,
So showrunner,
she's good.
not the title character. Showrunner, I'm guessing, is producer, not director, but kind of like the person behind the director. You know what I mean?
They're like the
That kind of
showrunners
sounds
are
like.
pretty much. Yeah, the showrunners are pretty much the people who write the show,
Okay.
and they also partake in like okay, let's say a director's there. The showrunner can be sitting right next to the director, and make suggestions about this scene or that scene. So
Okay.
you usually have the director in one chair. Then you have the assistant director usually on one side,
Yep.
and then you would have that person on the other side, and then they would give their feedback as to what they believe should be done, and the director can either go one way or other, or sometimes they'll even take two shoots. I mean, sometimes they take four shoots, and they'll just go back because everything's done now in digital. I mean, I only seen a few shows that they were still using tape, but everything's digital. I mean, I can't say the shows I was given, but when I was giving shows to drop off to the editors, they're
Mhm.
all in digital carts. I mean, it's just a weird thing. It's just like you're talking about a week's worth of film in like, I mean, it's still big. I never opened it up to see what it looked like, but the drive in there has to be a couple of terabytes of
Okay.
memory, and they're able to take all that, edit it into this container and just send it off. And I mean, I was dropping off whole seasons of shows, not realizing what I was dropping off at first. And I started reading it. I was like, oh, wait, is this the blacklist? I can talk about that one. I had like a couple of episodes I had to drop off at that one time. And it was crazy because I didn't realize I was dropping it off. They were like, just drop this film. So I was like, all right, cool. So, I mean, I like the fact that the digital technology, the way it exists, because you can do a lot with it. But yeah, the showrunners are pretty much all over the place. You'll see them like, give suggestions and they're writing, and a lot of their stuff is being taken into. That's what killed the Rings of Power. That these two showrunners didn't have any experience. They were recommended by J.J. Abrams, but that was probably like just a favor. But in 10 years that they worked, they didn't have anything successful. And I think given something like that, of that huge of a budget to rookies, you should do it to. So at least you're getting an accomplished showrunner right off the bat, and that tells me a lot about what they're already thinking. They've taken this very seriously. You want people with experience.
Yeah.
I'm not sure law wise. I care if they go by the law or not, because with Cindy Moon, it's real simple. She was kidnapped after she got bit by a spider. She got trained. She escaped, and she's back in New York seeking her family. You could do that in any variation. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you got good people behind the writing, we'd be good to go.
And there's not much lore to go off of because she's such a new character.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just something that, no, like I say, like we don't have to be like with every character got to stick to the lore. Well, I don't care about that. I like adding new characters because it gets more create. Like this is how the Black Costume Spider-Man was born. It was a new character. Kid came up with the idea. Hey, what about putting a Black Costume on Spider-Man? There you go. You just created an entire new realm of Venom was born from that, pretty much. You just made an entire freaking comic line that's been out for 25 years and growing and counting. So I look at things like that. Like you do need to evolve your genre. Just don't kill it. You don't need to kill it. I mean, like we said, Donald snapped it back. I mean, I was really upset with that, but that did happen in the comics too. He did kill 50% of the. So you see, but even with that, I was like upset that it happened. But they even with that, they were still keeping with most of the lore, because it's just a good story. I just mean, to me, like I'm not saying that you can't add on anything new, but these older stories, if you could build right around these things very easily, Now Secret Wars it's not gonna be the Secret Wars that we think it's gonna be. But I don't mind watching Kang the Conqueror, because Kang has got like his story is just all over the place, and it's pretty incredible, because it is. I mean, do you guys want to know who his relative is? Because I actually found out the other day. I've been researching like who Kang's actual relative is. There's a rumor that it could be either Reed Richards or Doctor Doom, and I know who it is.
Isn't it Reed Richards?
Wrong. It's Doctor Doom.
Damn.
And I'm gonna tell you, some of his technology that he got for the Kang costume came from direct contact and battlement of Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is his relative. And everybody kept thinking it was Reed Richards, last name Richards, obviously, right? No, it is Doctor Doom. Because the thing is that Kang knows he has to stop Doctor Doom, has to, in all time variations and all timelines. Because there's this one story, and I'm trying to remember the actual name of the comic. It was a Fantastic Four one, but it gets deep because Kang is in this one. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's a new one that just came out like about 2 months ago. I get confused with these things. And pretty much Kang goes to a pocket dimension, because Kang would be the kind of person that when he would travel through time, he would make branches of time. This is how I like the Loki show is actually good. It's going to tie you to the whole Kang story quite well. I like how they did that, because that's what happens when you time travel. You're breaking off branches and you're making multiverses. That's where all the multiverse comes from. So there was a cutoff in the branch of time that Kang let go, and this world was surviving. So he went back to investigate why it was surviving, and he finds Doctor Doom there still alive, while on the outside of this pocket universe that was still being kept together by some unknown force, he shows up, and there's like celestials that are dead, like 2 celestials. These are the makers of life, dead. Finds Doctor Doom, unmasked Doctor Doom, but it's not Doctor Doom. It's Reed Richards, because Reed Richards in this universe, he makes something that's called the Council of Reeds. And the
Yep.
Council of Reeds, that's where the Council of Ricks come from, by the way. So if you guys
Yeah.
thought that was original, no, it comes from the Council of Reeds. So they did a play on it, the Council of Ricks. When I saw it for the first time, I died laughing. I was like, oh, that's clever. So the Council of Reeds were pretty much, trying to figure out the ultimate question, the ultimate answer to a question, how to bring balance to the universe. And but the thing is that they didn't realize their actions was causing the misery because they were missing out on their families, they were missing out on their friends and their time, and that's what was causing the paradox. They actually caused the very paradox that they were trying to prevent. So Kang finds this version of Reed Richards, but he's Doctor Doom, and he got 2 Infinity Stones shoved in his eye sockets. He got the Reality Stone and the Mind Gem shoved into his sockets of his eyeballs. So if you take off the mask, Reed Richards killed Doctor Doom, the original Doctor Doom, took the Infinity Stones, shoved them into his eye sockets for some reason, used that to kill the Celestials that were coming for him because that like goes against their creed. They're the creators, so they came to deal with him, and he dealt with them and he killed them.
That's crazy.
Kang comes back. So now you gotta understand, like Kang, it's just weird because when you see this story, it's like Kang's facing the battle, and he's got to figure out how to kill Reed Richards. He brings like this guy with him. The guy is like, he's so not important. Like when you look at him, you're like, what? This guy means nothing. It's just some older man, like just some background character.
Yep.
So it came to a point that they were battling, and he gets to the end of the battle when he can time jump because it takes him millions of years to time travel to figure out how he's going to beat you and how many different variations in different universes. And he finds that one and he comes back. As he's coming back, though, he doesn't do too well because now Reed Richards is about to kill him, but this old guy out of nowhere shoves a freaking spear right through him and kills him. And he tells him, and he was mad. He goes, "Why would you do that? I was having like a challenge in my life." Like Kang looked like he was dying, but "Why'd you do that? I was having a challenge in my life. I wanted to go further." He goes, "Because it doesn't matter. If he would have won over you, I would be dead. And if you're gonna kill me anyway, then so be it." And then he tells him at the end, "I love the fact that you were able to face me, and that was the whole point of this test to end this universe is that you were my weapon." Because Kang can bring weapons from the future, but Richards figures that out and stops that and shuts down all his weapons. But in his arrogance, not realizing that Kang's plan was to have that little guy right behind him to shove a spear in him, his arrogance is what caused his downfall. I mean, I'm just saying that's just one of the stories that already exist within Kang's lore, and he's an amazing character. You could just do and expand on him so much. It's not even funny. Like I can literally come up with hundreds of stories of Kang. So for what it seems like they're doing the parts where he is either escaping the time travelers or he is just systematically starting to destroy some of the time branches himself. Because he doesn't leave them on. I don't know what it is, but when he was very younger, that's where Iron Lad comes from because he didn't want to be like he went to his younger self and told him that no matter what you do, you're gonna wind up a tyrant. You're gonna wind up to be King the Conqueror, no matter what you do. And the kid Iron Lad was born out of that. He did not want to follow in his future self's footsteps.
Did you guys?
He becomes Iron Lad.
Did you guys read the current, or not current, but the most recent miniseries for Kang? Only Myself Left to Conquer. That was a phenomenal,
I believe,
storyline. Where basically Kang.
Yeah, that's a 4-part series, isn't it?
4 or 5, yeah. Kang goes back in time to meet Nathaniel Richards, steals him from his timeline, brings him back to the beginning of time, and basically trains him how to be Kang. And then Nathaniel Richards kills the Kang that trains him because he falls in love with Ramona.
I think I did see that.
And Kang's like, the one thing you can't do is fall in love. Do not fall in love. Do not do any of that. It will not end well for you.
He tells them to do everything and never fall in love. Yes.
And
yes,
like,
and then he
cool
falls.
Storyline. And of course, he falls in love.
And every time he falls in love, she dies in every variation of that, And the story I'm talking about, has to do with her too, because it doesn't matter. Every variation, she still dies. So he goes back, like, and I'm glad you brought that up, because in this story, he goes back to his younger self, but now he tells him, like, you can't love. However, you're not meant to love, and this is why.
Yep.
He doesn't tell him you're going to become king. He tells him you have a choice. And I
Yep.
think by him telling himself that, he's going to change his destiny. I don't know if that's going to tie into the movie or not, but it doesn't matter. Kang can start where he's starting right now.
Agreed.
He's an observer. He made a deal with the time lord, with the timekeepers. This is why you see him at the end of Loki, because he
Yep.
made a deal with the timekeepers, and the deal is, for what I understand, if we're following the comic, that he's gonna extinguish these broken off timelines. He's pretty much the only one with the technology that can do it.
Yeah.
And overall, he's not a real strong character. His technology is, and his fact that he could time travel makes him omnipotent pretty much. He's not a god, but
Exactly.
he's like
He might
it's
as
like
well be
Doctor
with this
Who.
technology.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, he could predict things. Like I said, even with that story, like I didn't even see it, and he laughs at the end. He goes, "You were my weapon the entire time, the one weapon that no one would ever suspect." And I was like, "Freaking Kang!" I'm really excited to see this. I really hope they do like a 3 parts to it. I just, like I said, there's just so many stories you can go to. It's not even funny. Like, I don't even know which way they're going at this point. But Kang got so many great stories. Like you say, he could go back in time and tell himself not to fall in love. And then every time show and every variation, no matter how hard he tries, he's gonna lose the love of his life no matter what he does. And I think that's great storytelling. So I'm very excited about it, only because, like I said, Kang's coming. And
Yeah.
that's gonna be great, great movie. Don't
So
mess it up, Mikey.
on that note, it is time to end. And thank you guys all for watching, and thank you guys for coming on and talking about this. Next
Thank
week
you,
we're going to be
Chris.
doing a ton with
Yeah,
the
thanks,
Spider
Chris.
Family and giving thanks to the Spider Family, and we'll just love the hell out of that. So bring who your favorite Spider-Man variant is, and we'll dive into it.
Yeah, definitely. And if you guys want to check out, I did put up a story about the Silk and the Silk Society. It's a quick short. It's up on my YouTube channel now. It's really interesting
Perfect.
because I put articles up there for reading. So you just have to pause a little to read it. But it's not big articles, but it'll give you pretty much the whole gist of everything, which is they're gonna be on Amazon, and they're gonna be directed by
Yeah.
Sony, produced by Marvel, and it looks like it's a protected property they can expand on. They got 600 characters and 225 countries of distribution to do. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what the video says. So, thanks, Chris. Thank you guys for letting us come, because every time we do, we feel special. We want you guys to feel it too, especially
Yeah,
you, Alex.
I feel so special. I look forward to these things every week.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank
Thank you,
you.
everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.